Hello, traders. How are you doing? So the week has just ended, and you know what? Practice makes perfect. The week starts on Monday, and that was the 25th of February. Am I right? Sorry, 24th of February. Let's first, for those who are new to the channel, let me bring this out. I predominantly trade the New York session. Yeah, we trade the New York session. And so, how do I approach the markets when I come into the market? The few things that I want to know. I want to learn and understand what did the Asia markets do? What did markets trend? Market. How did the markets trend during the Asia session? Once I'm clear with that, once I clearly understand how the Asian session traded, the next thing I want to do, I want to understand what did market do during the London session. Once I have these two sessions, once I have the story that these two sessions tell, then we are in for a trade. And I'll get you through how I come up with a New York, with a New York bias. Okay, so let's dive in and let's start analyzing the charts starting from Monday, the 24th of February. This is the 5-minute time frame. And coming into the markets, what do we see? Price first drops to a level on Friday. Once price is on this level, we pull back, and it's seemingly that you're in a range. Look at this. This level and this level were the levels that Asia was playing in. So price came back to the lows, made the low of the day that was respecting a certain level on Friday. That's last week. And we pulled back with some wicks, but still inside the levels that we started the day at. So after that, what do we do? Do you see this? Price pulls back, but now we are supporting ourselves using the closing price of Friday, aka opening price of today. So price respects this level the first time, and London session starts. London session again, we try to break this level. But what happens? Price is unable. We pull back a bit and we eventually break it. So we can now confidently say that this level is not what's holding up for the day. We're still looking for a level for the day. And after we make a new high during the London session, we drop all the way to the closing price of Friday. So we realize that Asia is consolidating while London is trying to make new highs. And predominantly, when I see this, what's in my mind? I'm looking for New York to make its final high of the day and for us to reverse back to the levels that the markets will tell us. So is that clear? Good. So now, price after hitting the closing price, during the gap session, we start rallying above. And New York session, that is 3:00 Eastern Standard Time, convert that into your time zone. Price has made a new high and you are coiling. So once I come into the market, I know Asia was coiling and London was making highs. Well, we can't say these are extremely new highs, but London was making highs. And the level that was holding so far is the closing price. So having these three things in mind, what do you want? If you have been here long enough, especially my first video, I understand it was rough, but I mentioned this in my first video in the channel. You can go click and look at it, but I'll tell you it needs patience. So, because it's not good. Once price does this, I'm looking for London. Let me get my pen. Once Asia is coiling, then London explodes in either direction. What I'm looking for is for New York to make its high of the day. After we have locked that high, I want price to drop. So it's a reversal strategy, if per se. Good. So we come in and let's zoom out. Zooming out, I can see these are the levels that Asia's playing in. This was the high of Friday, and we have broken it here in this level while New York is almost starting. But look at this level here. Does it tell you anything? We have another level above. So here, despite the fact that I know I'm looking for a sell, so that prevents me from taking any buy trade unless price confirms otherwise. And otherwise, we have a system that says that, but we'll look at it later. So price respects, I'm looking for what price will do. We know gold has been rallying up and it made this high before coiling on. That's the it made this high, then coiled on Friday. So I'm looking what will price do at the extreme highs. Am I looking for forcing a trade of this high? No, I just want to see what will price do at this level. And if price looks right, I'm going with my bias. That's the high the New York session will make, and you're going to drop for the day. So now, since you get the picture, we come in. Moving into the 1 minute time frame, we see this price made this seemingly a W. Let me even get my pen. You can see we made this level, we came and retested it, and as we are coming to retest, we have this, okay? And look here, price breaks this level. So what do you think many traders are doing at this point? They're taking breakout trades. And what is their direction? Going short. But what does price do? Price begins to push. And can you call this a trend per se? No, it's just pushing towards the upside. Remember, we want New York to make its final level. So we first of all know anyone that sold this breakout is now crying. They're in pain. And you know what we say? Once they're in pain, that's where you make the money. So we let price do its thing. And once price reach this level, you saw how I made this line. Price breaks out, okay? After breaking out, we coil. We can't make any other new levels. And it's only in 2 candles that we come back inside. Am I going to take a short trade immediately? No, because I still see this direction is still holding. Yeah, I just don't sell because we are at the highs. Because sometimes you'll sell at these levels thinking that is the high and price makes even more high. So price does this, we come back, we retest. What do? We make a lower high. We're making a lower high, one candle, just one, locks anyone that was buying at this level. So now we have two people who are crying. Now, this one's by this time they have already taken the stop losses or closed their trade. And now we have had new traders that are in long because of this entire bullish structure. So once I see this, this the candle, what do? I just want to sell price. And I enter in the next candle, putting my stops at least somewhere here. Because I don't need to put my stops here. This range is big, I'm telling you guys. It's almost um it's almost like what? 40 pips? Yeah, it's almost 40 pips. So I enter here, put my stops here because my stops is predominantly not more than 25 pips, and I target these levels. Why these levels? Because it's where the buying pressure began. That's where London began its buy from. So that's the first area I'm targeting. And since I know gold is still somewhat bullish, it was there in the middle. Remember, this is Monday. Make a target of that place, and you want to see will price be more aggressive. And if it's aggressive, I'll take. By looking at how price reacted at this level, I know I'm getting paid here. And you might want to act all greedy, but it was a profit of 160 pips. Very simple. And what you had to do on this day is understand you're looking for New York to make a new high for us to drop. But even as you're doing that, you understand there's this key level. Once you know there's that key level, you just want to sit down and see what will happen. After we see that, we get our signal, we take it with no fear, put our stops, and we look to make money. That's clear. Let's move to the next day. That will be Tuesday. I like to make my analysis on the 5 minutes, 15 minutes charts. So here's Tuesday. And in first looks, you can see, wow, price is just coiling. But no, remember, this is a back test. So one thing I see, we see Asia was coiling, but At its end, that's the Asia-London gap, price dropped. Once we did drop, sorry, once we did drop, price is seemingly in a coil during the London session because you are ranging inside this lower low on Monday. So once price hits here, we enter in this range entirety of London. And this is also in our book. Asia explodes in either direction. Let's say Asia moves lower in this case. Then London coils. What do I expect? I expect New York to trade in line with what Asia's direction was. Okay, good. So having that, let's put this level down. See, London taps this one and we come back into the coil and it calls all through. But there's something sweet about this day. Price before the New York, that's 4:00 p.m. East African time, price drops and we break this level, making a lower low, signaling that, yeah, you're going to trade in line with the New York session. I made a video about this and I asked if you wanted a breakdown. And I got an email saying that, yeah, I like that one. And so I decided, let me do the entire of the week, just as I had promised in that video. So I'll be short on this one. You can go back, watch. That was the last video I had on my channel to understand the breakdown of this. So once price broke down, now coming to New York session, there's two things I want. If this was the low of yesterday, then price early, that is 3:30 p.m. East African time, before the official time of metals opening. If price happens to have broken this level that was there yesterday, then what I want is a low-hanging fruit of this style. We break, come back, confirm this level, then pull back and respect this one. Then at this one, it's where I take my trade. Okay? Alternatively, we'll have an area that price has dropped to confirm its bias. What I'm looking for is another way the low-hanging fruit presents itself. In that, we'll make another lower high and we'll come back. We should respect this level. Once we respect that level, I'm going to take a trade that should take us even lower. So in both of these, it should take us lower than this level, lower than this level. But that's the idea, okay? And there's also another one, but we'll talk about it, where we push in 3 pushes and drop. But let's focus on these two. Looking at this one, looking at this day, we want to understand, do we have A or B, and make our trade biases from that. Let me clear out these. We clearly can see that, yeah, in 3:30, price broke this level, but we never took this level. So what am I looking for? This is a lower low. I'm looking for price to pull back, confirm this level, and let's take a trade that will break now the lows. So knowing that, I know the low-hanging fruit idea that I'm aiming for in the markets. Remember, we are never rigid. We let the markets do its thing. If it's in an alignment with what I have, I take the trade. If it's not, we don't have a trade for that day. Was there news? No. So after that, I come back. This is the 25th. This is the sweet thing about backtesting. You get to see price in hindsight and it confirms your systems. So price drops, we coil 3 pushes, but remember, this is not what we're looking for, because even if you look, you can see price coiled, and we do not break any of these lower highs. We don't break this one, we come and respect it, and price rallies up. Do we take this buying? No, because we know what we are looking for. You could take this, but let me ask you, what size could you put on this one? Where could you enter? Because after we made this one, it's unless you're trying to make a sense experiment that you'll say, yeah, it made a slight M, break of structure, retest, enter, and then where do you exit? At these levels? Good. Do you see what price did before that level? Thank you. So price comes to this level, we break it, but look at it. Once you break it, as we break it, this is the level I'm talking about. As we break it, we no longer push aggressively. And what was the giveaway? Remember, we just sit down until price looks right. Price on the third push, we get this death candle, and it covers the entire 3 pushes. And that's what I want to say. So in that, I look for the next candle, I enter, and my stops is that the dead candle, another 20, 24 pips, depending on how good you're practicing your entries. And my minimum area is the low, that level that we broke. Aside from that, remember, we have the low of Monday, where we target and are paid roughly 200 pips. Price options slowly as we get to this. Since we know we have 2 levels, price options slowly until we almost get to the low of the day. Once you're there, we get the second rally. So you could decide, do you want to be paid just this one? Practice well enough and you'll see how easy it is to take its entirety. Don't aim for this. No, it's level to levels. Be realistic and make your trading easy. On to the next day. I told you that one was in the last video that I did. I reviewed that one just after we had traded the day. And now to the next day. Let's do this together. Remember, it's always simple. What has Asia done? What has New York done? And what? And from those two is where we come up with the idea for London. Good. So price push. And in Asia, we explode up, but we know this level still holds. So we're still underneath it in the bearish move. After tapping this level, we come back and support ourselves in the closing price. But after that, we start making this lower lows. So it's clearly bearish. Lower lows, and lower highs. Price breaks the closing price. So we know closing price is not holding. And what do we have? We have this level. So we are very keen about this level, okay? Yeah, price makes lower lows and lower highs. That's entirety of Asia and the gap in before London. Once London, we do that, we come back, we pull back inside, but still this level holds. So still in bearish mode, and we coil. Remember, this is similar to yesterday. What did we say? Asia gives us a direction. If London coils, we want to continue in line to what Asia's direction was. Let me write that again. Asia gives us a direction. Then London will coil. Forgive my drawing. Also, I'm charging my laptop, so my tab is not stable. London will coil. And what do I want? I want a chance to take a trade in line with Asia's direction. And that's the idea. So this one, price did that, and London coils. As we coil, there's something unique. Let me even mark this one up. See that level? Yeah. And this one was the level that made us say that London still respects the bearish direction. Price moves in a bearish direction, but inside this consolidation. And New York session opens while you're still in this. Basically, there are 2 ways I'll trade this, and I'll give you both so that you may practice, back test, and see which one will you favor? Price does this. Remember, we like trading from levels to level. So most likely a low-hanging fruit that will come to this level, maybe something, a drop. But this one, price is a different thing. Price from entirety of Asia to all of London, we respect one direction. That is bearish, okay? The new direction. We don't find the trend. We don't find the trend. But once we are here, there are two things I always look. I always look at, do we have a level underneath? Yeah. So we are inside it. Yes. The price is in one direction. Okay. And at this point, how is price reacting? Price is making lower lows. And at no point have we broken the bearish structure. Even though we have this support area, price is auctioning to it low in a bearish fashion. So I look at when the chaos will stop. And that's you can see, let me zoom into the 1 minute time frame because that's where this is more clear. Price is in chaos at this point. If you try to make an entry or an idea out of this one, well, let me show you. You're risking about 50 pips, which is our minimum target for any day. But if you let the chaos settle in, you understand that price is respecting the bearish trend. And it's at this point we again confirm and this candle. You see this? This will get you emotional, but still you have to sit down and wait to see, will this level be broken? Will this level hold? Price still, after making this, we continue with the bullish candle. So it is at this break and close of the support area that now I'm interested in looking for a sell idea, which it was given at this one. I put my stops there and I target the low that we have. That's one idea. The second idea, since I know there's no free lunch in the market, and after seeing this, I am interested in anyone who's chasing this move. And since they saw this break, they also want a break from this level. And what do I want? I want to take a trade. I'll break this down shortly. Once we reach the level, price starts a consolidation again. But at this consolidation, I do nothing because price hasn't told me it won't reverse. And if I do that, I'm trying to outsmart. So once price dropped, price was coiling, okay? Price broke out. This triggered many people to go short. But not only short, this bearish candle might have stopped many, but also triggered many people to go long from that support area, whereby we never broke this level. So looking at the size of this candle, I'm still not interested. But once we come back, respect this level, and now the candle structure looks okay. I'll talk more about this candle structure that I'm talking about. But at this moment, if you're finding any value, click the like button and subscribe. Your boy needs a subscriber. Good. So once I see this beautiful candle structure after an M is when I make my entry. And this one that engulfs all these ones. Makes my stops there. Or if you are so conservative at the low, but you know I'll never do that because I'm at 25 pips stop loss maximum. And what's my target? I'll target these levels, but I'll be so keen to these levels because it was the first lower high after we broke out. So price gives me 100 pips and I take it and I leave a trailer on because I know the huge amount of money is at this level. And what am I looking for? This higher low should not be broken. And indeed, price comes, retest it, and we rally above. To what? To the area that we want. So I have explained how you'll have made a trade here. I have explained how you'll have made a trade here. But all of this, you will realize one thing is constant. You are trading the market and sitting down most of the time. Let's go to the next day and see what price had for us. Price this day is even easier. Asia markets just drops. And in London, we drop even lower. Then after we drop lower, price comes into a consolidation, respecting the bearish structure. You can see this low high holding and this level also holding. We come and you're in this consolidation. But if if you follow this channel long enough, you'll know one thing: we never trade the news. And since we don't trade the news, I look at your Forex Factory. That's the website I use to check the news. Forex Factory, there was a news scheduled for 4:30 East African time on the 27th of February. That's Thursday. So I'm going to do nothing until that news is out. Not that I trade the news or predict its direction. I want the news out so that I'm left with just price to do. So the news occurred and we dropped, making a lower low. But immediately after that, we have this week. So I see the news is those ones that we have a candle. We do not pull back to a certain significant level for us to test and maybe make a direction. News just drops and we get this big candle, which is 50, 60 pips. And I'm doing nothing, completely nothing at this point. Not trading the direction of the news nor anything. But one thing I want to see, we have this level and we have this level. Is there anything going to happen since I'm bearish on this one? Why? Because Asia and London, same direction, explosion, but London pulls back and goes. Because we'll have cases where Asia moves in one direction, London explodes in that direction, and we come back inside. Okay? What do I always want in this one? I want to reverse against the two directions. But we have when Asia moves in one direction, London makes a lower low and it stays inside. Okay? There's a difference when London stays inside or when London brings. But I'll break that down starting with this one. So this one is that case. Price after price does this level is supposed to do nothing. And you must say, why? I think this is all hindsight. No, I took my trade here, but I'll give you a rationale as to why. Price starts wicking in after drop, after breakout structure, yet you still have another level underneath. So if I am to sell, I'm aiming to sell at this level or at this level. And if I am to buy, I'm to buy at the low of the day, or if this level price was to coil correctly. What do I mean price to coil correctly? There's a difference between taking once price reach a level and does this, stops and starts a reversal, and this one. This one is getting you emotional. So I let this chaos happen and it was 30 minutes. Well, sitting at your hands is the name of the game. Once you allow chaos to move, because one thing, there's a simple rule that I learned: price never moves in a chaos. So once price leaves upstation using chaos, it always either has to come confirm the level, right? Or is taking people in who are chasing that chaos to a certain level for us to hurt them all. So once we reach this level, you can see this candle. This candle, if you were trading this day alive, you remember how this candle was formed. It looked like it was promising a break before it turned into a wick and price dropped. This drop might look slightly small, assuming you took this breakout trade, but it was almost a 40 pips trade. And I have a friend who this can move caused them to blow their account because they thought that this chaos was going to take us to this level. And they thought, why don't I write that 30 pips? And instead, price wicked and it stopped them all out. Then price comes. We can now see the support area. After hitting there, we consolidate. I like this. And after that, we get this dead candle. I wait and price makes a lower high for the first time before we make this lower low. I get my entries, put my stops, and what's my target? You guessed it right. Know this is the bare minimum, and I'm looking for the low of day. Targeting low, no, the low of day. Targeting this level, got us 150 pips, and we are done for the day. Simple, easy trades. I'll break these strategies one by one by one. But I'd like you to comment down. Tell me what did I say that you think we could delve deeper for us to understand. So it was the last day, Friday. This day, I think I was held up somewhere, so I didn't trade the market. But I came back in the evening to look at what the markets did. Is that an addiction? Maybe. But nah, because I just look at the charts and said, oh, I knew two things. We had news at 4:30, and I was committed at around 4 till 5. No, 4 till 6 in the evening. So coming back, I just had to see, what was there so that I may share with you, gang? I looked at trades, gang. But I think we should have a gang. Price dropped in Asia, all right? Then in London, we make a lower low. Why don't I call this thing drop? Because you can see after making it, we come back inside for the entirety of the session. Not for the end of the session like this one. See, price drops and we stay outside. But this one, price drops and we come back inside and we stay for the entirety of the session. So what am I looking when this happens? I'm looking for us to continue in line with Asia direction. But we have news at 4:00, 4:30 p.m. Yeah, 4:30 p.m. So I'll not do anything until the news passes. I see price drops, make a lower high, and here's what I was telling you, the three pushes, 1, 2, 3. If there was no news, this is a valid trade because after breaking out, I want this push back inside, respects this level, and I'll take the trade. But price does the three push before even the news is out. What does the news do? The news does nothing completely. It wakes up, does not even break this level, does not take us anywhere, and the next candle is an engulfing candle, and the ones that follows breaks, making even a lower low. So once I see this, I think price is already in motion. And once what I want to say, I want price to either make a lower low, pull back, respects the previous lower high, calls for me to take the trade. That's one thing, but that's what the market did. After price dropped this one, pull back, okay? We can zoom in to see this. Price pulls back. Price pulls back and we do not take this level. So am I immediately looking to sell? And or why don't I want to sell? Because we have this level and we have this level. It was until price coils that I'm like, amazing. But what do I take? Remember Monday's trade, was it Monday or Tuesday? Whereby we wait for that level. Price comes to this level and there's no chaos. That's the other thing. Price respects structure, no chaos. We weak. That I don't take wicks as a signal for me to enter. Once we do this close below, I'll take my entry. My stops will be there and I'll target, since I had no level to the left, I'll target a minimum of 70 pips. Well, saying you'll have got the entirety of 85 pips, you're lying to yourself. I took 70. I'll have taken 70 this day. I'm telling you, I never traded. And yeah, so that's it. I hope you had fun. Like, subscribe, and share with one or two people who you think predominantly trades gold, because I trade gold purely. Not a guru, just your other friend on the internet. Thank you.